So let's start with Arsene Wenger's latest comments about age discrimination. I swear the more this geezer talks, the more he winds people up. He is basically saying that anybody who doesn't want him to see out the last year of his contract is discriminating against his age. What fucking planet's this guy living on, seriously? Whether you're 16, 18 or 68, 108, 1 billion and 8. If you're a shit football manager, you're a shit football manager. End of debate. Now, this guy's got a short memory. It was only a few years back, not a million years back, but a few years back, that he was only offering up 1-year contracts to the likes of Bergkamp, Perez. You know what I mean? Is that age discrimination because they were over the age of 30? So it's you can only have a 1-year deal because you're 30 or above? This guy's got a short memory, seriously. Now, like I said, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you are finished as a football manager, it doesn't matter. It makes no difference. It's not the fact that you're in your late 60s that people want you to leave, mate. It's the fact that you're finished as a football manager at the top level and have been for over a decade. Now, add this into his shirt and trousers comments a few weeks back. I fully believe that this guy has completely lost the plot. I think that if he hasn't lost the plot, then he's trying to put pressure on the board as if to say, well, look, you can't sack me. You know, it's ageist, it's age discrimination if you try and get rid of me. And that's the line he's going down by the looks of it, which is all a little bit, don't sit right with me. Listen, the guy was great 20 years ago. He's not anymore. End of story. You're getting paid £10 million a year. We're 33 points behind Man City. We're 13 points behind Tottenham. We're 6th in the table, just above Burnley. Now, that doesn't matter whether you're 68 or 28. If you're 6th in the table, 33 points behind Man City, you're not good enough to manage the football club. Now, let's move on to the rumours going around over the weekend of Thomas Tuchel being lined up to be the next Arsenal manager. Conflicting reports flying around. Obviously, that's standard with any social medias. This person says this person counteracts it and totally disregards it. Now, there's a lot of rumours going around that Sven, who worked with Tuchel at Borussia Dortmund, didn't really see eye to eye with him. So a lot of reports are saying that that is not going to happen because of that little conflict they had going on there. Now, one thing I do know is that Aubameyang was smashing goals in for fun whilst Tuchel was the manager. And as I've said a million times on here before, I would literally take anybody other than Roy Hodgson, who I think is worse than Wenger. I would literally take anybody right now over Arsene Wenger. So all the people that are sat saying, oh, well, what's he ever won? He's only ever won a German Cup and he's not good enough for Arsenal. Well, let's all cast our minds back to 20 odd years ago when we found our manager, our current manager, floating around in Japan managing Grampus 8. Did everyone say the same shit then? Like, he's not good enough? Of course they didn't. And now 20 odd years fast forward, it's now, oh no, we can't get rid of him for a young up-and-coming manager because he's never won nothing other than a cup. Come on, seriously. Let's get with the fucking programme here. Arsene Wenger is finished as a football manager. Thomas Tuchel is a fresh manager, fresh ideas. He's worked with Aubameyang before. He's worked with Mkhitaryan before. Whether he gets on with Sven, who knows? Now, personally, that would not be my first choice as the next Arsenal manager. My first choice is Ancelotti, which I've said on here a million times before as well. I'd also have Allegri and Simeone ahead of Tuchel. But, like I've said, I would literally take anybody other than Roy Hodgson. So if he is the next man, I will back that because it ain't Arsene Wenger. And it's not the same shit coming out of the geezer's mouth for the last 20 years. Now, whether I think it's going to happen or not is a completely different matter. Personally, I don't think that is going to happen. It's no coincidence that these two stories are dropped around the same sort of time and, you know, one's conflicting the other. It's classic journalism. You know, let's throw out one story and then immediately afterwards we'll throw out one about a manager being linked with a job. It's not going to happen. This guy's not going to be our manager next season. I will be absolutely amazed if he is our manager. But I would welcome him and I would back him. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm sure that one's going to run. Now, let's go on to some more positive news. Well, it depends how you look at it. I personally think this is a positive move. Mohamed Elneny has signed a new long-term deal with Arsenal Football Club. Now, since he signed for Arsenal for a reported fee of about £5 million, I think he's actually done all right. Now, a lot of people don't see him as one of the fashionable players. They don't see him as an anything type of player because he's not got any skills or he ain't a flair type player. A lot of people disregard that style of player nowadays. Now, personally, I think every time, especially recently, that Elneny has played, I think he's been fantastic. He was one of the best players on the pitch against Watford recently. The Cup semi-final second leg at the Emirates against Chelsea, barring the first 20 minutes where he was gallivanting over halfway like a headless chicken, he was one of the best players on the pitch that night as well. And for £5 million, let's have it right. The guy never moans, never whinges. He turns up for training every day. You don't see no bullshit stories in the media about him. He's probably not on a great deal wage-wise. So for a squad player who will probably see out the remainder of this season in the Premier League, seeing as all of our eggs are now firmly in the Europa League basket, I see it as a good deal for him. I see it as a good deal for Arsenal. I'm happy he signed. Listen, if he signed for £50 million and had a more extravagant surname, then everyone would be raving about how great he is. Now, let me know what you guys think about all three of them topics, about the Wenger comments. I'm sure that's only going one way. Let me know who you want as the next Arsenal manager. Give me your top 3 Arsenal managers in order of how you want them. And let me know about Elneny as well, whether you think that's a good piece of business. Because like I said, personally, I don't think the guy's ever really let us down. Yes, he's not been anything amazing, but for £5 million as a good utility player, he's the type of player that I think should be a squad player. Yes, he's not the first name on the team sheet. Let's all have that right. But he gets the ball, he destroys the game, he sits deep, and he passes to a better player who then, say for example, Ozil or Jack or Ramsey, who can then go and express themselves further up, knowing that that player will be sat there if they bomb a little bit too far forward and then lose the ball. Now, in my opinion, the way modern football's going, you need that type of player in your squad. Maybe not necessarily every week, depending on the team that you're playing, but in certain games, you can bring him in and he will do a job consistently well. Now, like I said, let me know what you guys think of that as well. And let me know about the other 2 topics. What I want to say as well, I sort of touched on it in one of my previous videos. The World Cup's fast approaching. It's not a million miles away. And obviously England are there, my country. Now, I don't rate international friendlies as highly as obviously World Cups and Euros. Hence why I've not really done anything on the friendly games that England have played. But once it gets to the World Cup, I am going to be doing previews and reviews on all of the England games. And I will be doing previews and reviews on some of the bigger games. Now, let me know what games you want me to do the previews and reviews on. Obviously, I've got followers, subscribers all over the world that watch these videos, and I appreciate every single one of you for doing so. So if your team's in the World Cup, leave your comments down below. When I do get a chance, I will go through them, and I will reply if I get a chance. Okay, but if you want me to do a preview on your team's games, hit me up. Let me know, because I will do them. Obviously, I'll need to do my research on some of the countries, but I'm not a complete idiot. I will do that, and I'll do the best I can to follow that through. Also, the Premier League is back on Sunday for Arsenal, and I will be dropping my preview for the Arsenal-Stoke City game on Friday evening. So be sure to look out for that. Turn notifications on. Obviously, you can also subscribe to the channel if you're new. Big up all the subscribers, all the new subscribers, and the day ones, and all the ones I've collected along the way. Don't forget to smash the like button. Also, go follow my Instagram and my Twitter, LeeGunner82. Until Friday, I'm out of here. Laters, peeps.